mediocre unless you get like amazing shackle shots. Queen of Pain is probably the best team fighter on their team, but they do have very good lanes right now and very good gank potential with that vendetta that you always have to worry about.
Oh, there we go, Timbersaw. There's your sort of X Factor hero, and well, it's another.
Not really. Expect the Darksters an off lane here. Visage can make a very strong trial lane, whether it's an offensive trial lane or a defensive one, we're yet to see. But what do we sort of expect with these drafts?
I mean, we're only coming a few weeks off of TI3, and everything looks very standard. Visage and Weaver were the top picks and the top bans or actually he wasn't banned, but they were the top picks at TI3, and not too much has changed. We see OD and Razor. Razor's kind of come up from the ranks. He's pretty good versus OD. I don't particularly know why Pretty Boy Swag banned them right now. Maybe they're in for a Life Stealer pick, one of the better counters versus them even. He's pretty good versus Gyrocopter too. Very versatile hero. I think it was heavily utilized by Team Zenith, but we haven't seen him too much used by the Americans.
Naga Siren picks in the first stage, getting banned out in the second stage, which was, to me, one of the big heroes that stood out at TI3. I got a lot of play. Alliance really showed how to utilize that hero as a support. The other hero I see a lot of in IXCL and the North American Dota scene is the Spirit Breaker. We haven't. Are we going to see a Spirit Breaker?
I would love to.
That to me is like the trademark NA Dota hero, Spirit Breaker. I mean, it's not like a top pick, but it's so often I'll see him in IXCL.
Is it a solo offlane or just roam? Or
either or.
Carry Spirit Breaker.
Carry Spirit Breaker, not bad.
Those badges are ridiculous. He owns BKB.
Yeah, we're not seeing too many BKB heroes yet, though. At least maybe a Weaver or Queen of Pain, but
5 seconds
so Pretty Boy Swag
remaining.
looks like they're going more for a wombo combo type of thing with Vacuum into Ice Path and then maybe Visage versus Suns. It's just 3 heroes. We follow that up with a Wall and a Dual Breath as well as a Macro Pyre, and that is a lot of damage coming out. So Shadowfiend needs Cake is going to have pretty tough time when it comes to team fights. Nyx Assassin and Weaver, not the best for team fighting. Windrunner is mediocre unless you get like amazing shackle shots. Queen of Pain is probably the best team fighter on their team, but they do have very good lanes right now and very good gank potential with that vendetta that you always have to worry about.
Oh, there we go, Timbersaw. There's your sort of X Factor hero, and well, it's another, I get not so much an NA Dota staple, but it's a hero that's become very, very commonly used. Teams have been using this as a solo mid generally, and he's just so powerful there with that Whirling Death build. There's so much power that he can just insta-burst damage people down with, and there's not many heroes who just straight up counter him in the mid lane as well because of the reactive armor. You get the HP regen, you get the plus armor. It's hard to send a hero mid saying, hey, we're going to be Timbersaw mid.
Yeah, and he's flexible too. You can even place him in the off lane. He's generally better versus high HP strength heroes, for example, Dragon Knight or Alchemist even, because that 15% attribute bonus removes their strength, which is just straight HP removal. Combine that with his massive amount of pure damage, and he can just kill those usually tanky heroes in a matter of seconds.
Last pick, Abaddon. Shadowfiend needs cakes. They pulled out one of the new heroes in the CM mode. A hero does not get played too well as a carry hero, but as a support, he's pretty fantastic, especially as far as getting rid of disables and just sort of those sort of negative effects that can be put on you. But this, all of that on the Pretty Boy Swag team, but Abaddon is just a very resilient support hero, hard to bring down, offers a lot of support and healing, and that's something which can be very useful for keeping the Weaver alive, keeping the Queen of Pain alive, and this is a very well-rounded team coming out from Shadowfiend.
Yeah, I'm surprised they pick Abaddon over something, say, Treant Protector. Treant Protector has been proven to be, time and time again, one of the most annoying combos with Weaver, and they don't really have any long-duration single-target stuns, which is primarily what Abaddon is used for. No real Orchid carriers, no Scythe carriers, maybe Darkseer like far into the game. They don't have like a Primal Roar or a Potom Arrow. There's nothing that the shield is like, oh my gosh, we can't initiate because of the shield. You're still going to capture Vacuum. You're still going to get most of your damage off, and it's mostly used for taking off debuffs rather than mitigating damage.
Yeah, Treant would have actually been really sick because I feel a lot of this Radiant team, Shadowfiend needs cakes, they're one that comes down to the 1v1 matchups, the solo type heroes, that, like you mentioned, the offlane Weaver, the solo mid Queen of Pain. These heroes doing well is going to be very pivotal to their success, I feel. As for the die side, I feel like they've got a lot of options. They're going to have the mid Timbersaw, a hero that can win games on his own. They have the Wombo combo, the Darkseer Jakiro, and then they have the sort of the late game plan. They have a Luna here, not the sort of best scaling late game carry hero, but still a hero that is strong in the early game, does okay in mid game, and can do fairly decently as a late game carry as well.
What do you think of these Pretty Boy Swag banners?
This, I mean, they've got some class, they've got some swagger, right? Soldier Boy would be proud.
Wow. What are they supposed to be sunglasses? I guess it's half of sunglasses. Why did they put the whole thing on there? Anyways, well, the other team doesn't have
Getting those flags working is tough work, man.
I know. Remember when IGs was like someone complained about that?
I'm not
Yeah.
Someone made a
much
new
of
one.
a
I remember someone
knowledge,
tried to
but
make theirs a
I'll do
Chinese
my
flag,
best.
but it cut off like 2/3 of the flag. It
You have
didn't
to
even
like
work.
cut it in half, or you have to like duplicate it X2.
Yeah.
So when it like folds in half, it shows like that. So going ahead and introduce Team Nom, which is Shadowfiend East Cape. We have no Damon on Abaddon. We have Knave on the support Nyx Assassin. We have Relic on the mid Queen of Pain. Bricks on the offlane
The
Weaver,
battle
and Moshi
begins.
on looks like the farm roll. No, actually support one owner.
Yeah, support winger, and they're
So
gonna be running.
who's gonna farm in their safe lane? I guess it's the Nyx Assassin. No idea what's going on.
Nyx Assassin with 9 tangos. This
And a mantle.
is something new. We're getting something new coming out from these North American teams. Over on the Dire side, though, Pretty Boy Swag going with something a bit more standard. We're going to have I'm a Sheep Sucks playing the Visage. He's going to be supporting the top lane Luna, being played by Sleazel. We've got Jakiro in the hands of Countdown to Jocktober. Okay. Are you counting down to Jocktober?
The who? Jocktober?
Jocktober. It's coming. Dark Falco is going to be playing the Timbersaw mid, and then Cakes is on the Darkseer. He's actually going straight to the jungle, not even trying to go up against this tri-lane. So, see a tri-lane either. They're sending the Abaddon top to defend the Weaver. So they're going with some 2-1-2 action, which I feel is really strong because Darkseer's not even contesting a dual lane, which is a lane where he could easily be getting experience.
I'm very surprised that they're using the Nyx Assassin because of what the opponents picked, but regardless, this is something that we very rarely see. Pretty Boy Swag running a fairly conventional lineup. Dark Falco actually picked up Whirling Death at level 1, and he is pretty far away from his bottom. I'm not sure if that was the best idea for him. He's severely lacking on regen, even getting pulled one set of tangos by the Visage.
Yeah, this is probably the best thing you can do against Timbersaw. Send a hero like Queen of Pain there, you go get the early Shadow Strike, and you get pulled regen. He got a Null Talisman with 2 branches, and Orange, the winner, pulled him tangos as well as a salve, making his life there a whole lot easier.
Yep, he's only 10 gold away from his bottle though, and once that happens, Dark Falco should have a relatively easy time. I mean, Queen of Pain is just going to have the time of her life in middle, and she could very easily have an Orchid. Orchid just shuts down a lot of the heroes, shuts down Darkseer pretty badly unless we see them go the BKB build, which is sometimes rather unconventional, I say. Timbersaw gets shut down pretty hard by Orchid too.
We are seeing this top lane. Weaver's not really too afraid to go toe-to-toe, and this is a tri-lane. So the Abaddon pick, you can sort of see where it ties in a bit. If you send it within a dual lane, something that Tree can't do is you can actually dish out damage. You put the shell on Weaver, not only does it keep Weaver alive, but it starts harassing these supports quite a lot. Jakiro, Visage are going to be very careful about engaging in the Weaver if they're not near their tower, because Weaver can just chase them down, do shell damage as well as Shikuchi with a Gemini attack, and they're going to have to be very cautious, I feel. They can't get too aggressive with this tri-lane.
This Abaddon is going to be severely hurting on experience, though. He is sitting at 0 out of 200 experience, leaving bricks on the Weaver to get it all. So they're sacrificing a lot in order to secure a lot of farm for this Weaver. Weaver is doing very poorly in CS2, only 2 last hits to his name.
Yeah, he's spending a lot of time trying to harass and not quite the same amount of time trying to last hit here. The actual Abaddon went for like a 3 or 4 clarity build. He's got 2 left. He's using one at the moment. He's just been spamming that shell on Weaver, but unfortunately it's resulted in just Weaver spending too much time harassing, maybe not enough time farming, and they're still being zoned out. So this tri-lane, this dual lane of theirs against the tri-lane, maybe not as successful as they would have hoped.
Yeah, Luna is doing very well in terms of CS though. 12, we see 2 of Radiant's heroes, the Queen of Pain and Nyx Assassin, just have pretty much free farm, both of them sitting at 18 creep kills. And Dark Falco looks like he might be in a bit of trouble middle. Is he going to give up first blood here?
Oh, Dark Falco, he's trying to bottle up in between these Shadow Strike ticks, and Relic decides not to chase. He didn't have mana for a blink and a scream. Not to mention it's just a level 1 scream, so that little bottle ticking did save his life there, and he's going to hope for a rune. 3.5 minutes in though, there's no rune for another 30 seconds here, so he's going to bottle Crow and just basically give up the 4-minute rune, or maybe just sort of try and take it without actually bottling it up.
Timbersaw is considered one of the stronger soloists. I'm surprised that Dark Falco is not getting that much out of this lane at all.
Yeah.
He will be forced to bottle Crow. It's on his way back right now. Maybe with a 4-minute rune he can do something, but as of right now, mid lane is completely in Queen of Pain's hands.
Cop also bottle Crow, and Cop actually going to go Blinking Shadow Strike. This could be your first blood. Dark Falco only has a magic stick here. 4 ticks, is that going to save his life? Quap has level 2 in the Shadow Strike. This is going to get very, very dicey, and do the math, do the math. Is this a kill?
No.
Ben Merlini
Wow,
would.
that's so
No.
close. Oh, he was waiting until the very last instant to pop magic stick. I don't know why. I didn't know if he was perhaps waiting for a deny coming out from the Dark Seer or what, but that is living life on the edge. And the 4-minute rune will go to Queen of Pain's name, a double damage on top.
Yeah,
but
leaving it
waiting
there.
for a bottle though.
This Timbersaul's going to come back to the lane and instantly get harassed out again. He's having a miserable time, and it's not about to get any better.
Yeah, he does not have any points in Timber Chain, going for the more defensive 2 reactive armor build, although maybe 1 level of Timber Chain is pretty good too, because that is one of the only escape mechanisms.
I feel like he needs to get a point soon. There we go. Queen of Pain bottling up. He's going to go and grab that rune, and I think Swagger just happy to play this slow, and they're going to give away a bit of an early game advantage to Team Shadowfiend just because they know they've got a strong mid game. They've got the Darkseid Jakiro combo. Darkseid who's being uncontested in the jungle, so he's going to get his team up a fast mech probably, and once they have the mech up with the Jakiro Darkseid combo, it's really hard for the Radiant team to take any sort of a team fight.
Yeah, extremely difficult. And if they get a BKB up on the Luna, that is going to be a huge problem for them. Looks like he's going for an early Belt of Strength, so we see the Treads build. Oftentimes we just see Tranquil Drums into a BKB rush. That is probably the most common Luna build. Sometimes we see a Helmet Dominator carry build, but again, they're a little bit behind in the early game. Looks like the gold is going slightly in favor of Radiant right now, but if they have the items, the mech that you talked about, and the BKB, they should be able to win team fights pretty easily, regardless, or unless they poorly execute.
Yeah, and this Darkseid is what's keeping the gold graph closer than what it could really be, because I feel the Radiant team winning this mid lane so handily should have a big lead, and Darkseid's just been uncontested in that jungle, and even with Queen of Pain having a 35 CS to 14 CS advantage, the lanes aren't all being won. And then your bottom lane, which is a Nyx with an empty lane free farming away. Actually surprising they're giving all the farm to the Nyx. He's got his Arcane Boots. Maybe now they start giving some farm to Windrunner to try get a mech up.
He's level 6 right now. He has Arcane Boots. It is nighttime. Yeah. They can easily get a first blood. They are not prepared on top lane. Haven't dropped a sentry yet. Oh, actually they have one over here now, but it's still very difficult for them to survive that sort of gank.
Yeah, I like what Nyx has done. He's picked up a TP, but something else he's done. He's also got level 3 mana burn. Never seen this Nyx Assassin build before in my life.
I mean, it is pretty good versus Visage and Darkseid. Those are very, very mana-dependent heroes. Oh, we see a TP on top lane. There is no sentry dropped.
The sentry's expired, so this could be trouble. This should be the first blood here coming out onto the Luna, or he's going to change target. No, he's gone to the Luna. Just a level 1 impale, but the mana burn doing a decent amount of damage. And Weaver, Shikuchi, not going to be needed. Just the Gemini attack. There's your first blood. Now they're going to change target. This is the Nyx Assassin. The early rotation sort of causing damage to Pretty Boy Swag. They lose 2 in the top lane.
Wow. That was just the perfect time for them to go. It was like the Sentry Ward was down for like 10 seconds. Visage was going up to the lane to place another one, and they were just a little bit too late. Versus the Nyx Assassin, you always have to be prepared. They knew that he was... He had Arcane Boots. They knew he had hit level 6 quite some time ago, but just unable to follow through that. It could have easily been Dark Falco mid that gave first bloods.
Yeah, this is the Radiant team. I mean, we talked about how it's the Dark Falco team with some known players, Sleazel as well as I'm a Sheep Sucks, some known NA Dota players, and they're the favorites going in. They're the more known team, but anything can happen, and the Radiant team are proving just that, winning 2 of these lanes and now fixing the tri-lane with an early rotation from Nyx Assassin. Where did Pretty Boy Swag go? They send the Luna bottom, still trying to reach that level 6, but Nyx is just going to come for another gank. He's got Vendetta up in 2 seconds, and he's got a Buckler. He's going to have an incredibly fast mech for his team as well.
Sleazel is actually sitting on power charge right now. Only 625 HP with his Agi Treads. Looks like he's in a lot of trouble. Where's the Windrunner power charge? Oh, wow, off the mark.
Yikes, they needed that. The Ice Path was coming in to try and save him, but if that power shot hits, it should be a kill.
I have no idea why he was so far back. He could have easily just shackled him. He was like pretty close to the tree line too, and you can easily set up with a creep if you want for a shackle, but that should have been an easy kill on the Luna.
I'm still very surprised by the mana burn build. The main thing you get from this is the much shorter cooldown. A fast level 4 mana burn does give you a 4-second cooldown on that, which costs, I mean, 100 mana for a 4-second cooldown nuke is very nice, but he's then switched back and got a second point in Carapace. So this Nyx Assassin build is just all over the place.
I think you definitely want max stun first in almost all situations, because the stun duration isn't max duration at level 1 like most stuns. It goes up to 2.77, scaling up by half a second by each point. So maybe the Windrunner expected that he had a max impale build and timed his power shot off that, but regardless, we see a gank on bottom, we see a DD Jakiro.
Not the best hero to be in that DD on, but if he can catch up Windrunner here, no. Actually just wants to drop a ward. I think Windrunner actually notices that. He drops a ping out, shows that he saw the Jakiro. Question is, does he know it's actually He's not dewarding it with that one sentry he has, so it doesn't look like he realizes. But Nyx Assassin, third vendetta of the game is up, and he's going for his third kill here. Well, his second kill, the second one not succeeding, but this time it looks like Luna will go down. Is there a power shot? There is, but it's not enough damage.
Strange Treads. Swapped right in time, but again, that first missed gank is just really where it all goes downhill with Nyx. Once you get too far behind and you can't actually instant kill people, the hero falls off a lot, and if teams are adequately prepared for him, he's almost useless in team fights with an early gem pickup.
There was a bit of aggression out top lane with the Visage and Darkseid trying to get a kill, but they're just going to force Abaddon back to go and heal. He's not level 6 yet. He didn't have any mana for any more shields here, so he got forced out of the lane, but this is the lane where they're just trying to get Weaver some more levels and farm. He's not doing all too well with just a 22 CS, but more than anything, it feels like Queen of Pain is going to be the big carry this game for the Radiant team. With 64 CS, a ton of denies, looking to get that fast Orchid up.
And looking at Radiant's wards right now, it doesn't really seem like they're making really good use of the placement of them. They have one in mid lane and one in top lane, but most of the action they'd be trying to force is on bottom. I think that if they, like, for example, if they tried to bait the Luna out on bottom, they would be in huge trouble. That would probably be a very easy double kill for them. But they seem to be just content on farming. We've seen Queen of Pain sit mid the whole entire time, hasn't rotated once. The two heroes on top on the Radiant side also pretty content to sit there. The only hero that we've seen some movement out of is the Nyx Assassin thus far.
Yeah, he had a great rotation top, but when your next two ganks fail, it's like you say, you can't afford to have those ganks fail or you start falling behind. I think the good news is with this Nyx Assassin is even if he doesn't get a ton of kills, he can still offer a lot in team fights just because he's going to have a very fast mech up. Having that around the 12-13 minutes and having that big AoE heal for his team is going to make a big difference.
Yeah, it takes a lot of burden off of the Abaddon too, who pretty much doesn't have any items right now. Just Brown Boots, TP Scroll, and a Smoke of the Sea. He's not going to be very useful if it comes to mech, getting a Vlad for his team, or whatever it may be. Checking out Queen of Pain's items, looks like she is going to go for an Orchid, but not even completing her first Oblivion Staff yet.
Yeah, it's a decent amount of CS, but still very early on, and no kills to her name, despite how well she did do against that Timbersaw mid. She's going to maybe go in for a kill. He does have a Scream and a Sonic Wave. Finally gets the kill he's been trying to get for so long.
10-6 on his magic stick. I'm so very surprised that Dark Taco did not use it there.
Big Familiar Sun, they're going to try to turn this one around with a Luna Eclipse, not going to be able to do enough damage before she goes down though. Gets just the one kill, and now we can see Abaddon go down. Nyx Assassin gets caught in an Ice Path, and this could be the death of him. Impale, Power Shot, Visage still alive, and Nuke comes out, and they kill the winner as well. Queen of Pain though, the one hero the Dire team were hoping would not show up on this top lane, does just that, has 3 bottle charges if she wants some mana. Very unlikely to escape this. Scream comes out, one more right click's going to be there. Visage
oh, denied!
Oh, great deny coming out. Visage, big micro, and now Queen of Pain goes down as well.
Wow. Well, I think that Pretty Boy Swag got the better end of that fight.
Yeah, that was a really smart deny. The Queen of Pain at this point in the game is probably the biggest kill you can get if you're the Dire team. That's a level 11 hero, and that's Timbersaw catching up. Timbersaw was having a horrible, miserable time, but that one kill sort of got him back in this game.
And looking at the golden XP chart, looks like XP has tipped back in favor of Pretty Boy Swag, going in favor of Shadowfiend Eats Cake just for a brief bit, and the gold is almost back to 0. So I think that Pretty Boy Swag has like by far a better, if they actually force the issue, start pushing towers together, maybe get like a bracer up on Luna. Actually, she's going I believe she spent her 1,200 gold. If they want to force the issue, they can do so at this point. I don't think the Queen of Pain is strong enough. She doesn't have like any HP right now. She has her treads right now, not in strength, and she has no talisman, but she can die very easily if she's caught out by anything.
Yeah, if you get hit by one side of this Queen of Pain, you go down. You get hit by an Ice Path, you're not going to survive it. Timbersaw, Luna, this burst damage, Visage as well, one of the best burst damage heroes with that Soul Assumption, will just tear you apart. So Queen of Pain has to be very cautious with her rotation.
Here's the 5-man.
Oh, starting bottom.
Yep, and they have the mech up on the Darkseer. This is what they want to happen. You want to gather so that Nyx Assassin can't pick you off.
They're 5-manning and they have a sentry down. Nyx Assassin essentially becomes, he's just a walking mech. He can't be an initiator like you want him to be. And we're not going to be seeing that mech up, it looks like, for another 700 gold. I think he died in that last fight, and as a result, that mech has been slowing down, and it's the Darkseer, the jungle Darkseer, with a much faster mech. 90 unit kills. He's popping the charts here, even though it is somewhat misleading because it's not 9 actual CS. And the dives begin. They're going to start by bringing down Mochi, the winner, and they want the Nyx Assassin as well. He has got Vendetta, but I'm sure there's going to be sentries or dust, something prepared for him. They're not actually dropping them down, and Weaver now TPing in. He's going to try to bring down Jakira. There's the sentry ward. Queen of Pain is showing up. Queen of Pain with a Sonic Wave as well, just level 1, but looks like Luna may be the target here. Queen of Pain, Blink, Not going to see any follow-up damage, so Queen of Pain pops an Invis Room, but this is not a place to be popping an Invis Room when there's sentries all over the map, and Queen of Pain walking right into it with a Sonic Wave, a screen. Luna is going to get an Eclipse off, and does go down. Queen of Pain blinking to the side, he needs a TP out. Is she going to find it though? Level 4 Blink needs to blink first, and will not do so. Blink for the kill! That is some manly play, Ben, and now Weaver going to go down as well. Visage is just unkillable. Wow, as he goes down.
Yeah, with that 1 point of Gravekeeper's Cloak, he was able to survive the brunt of the burst from Nyx Assassin, and that was just a very unorganized fight by the Radiant. They had 3 heroes over here, and they knew that Pretty Boy Swag was pushing. They saw all 5 heroes. They were like probably right outside of the Dire T1, but still they didn't react in time. Queen of Pain's TP scroll was about 12 seconds off cooldown, and Windrunner was pretty far out of position. When that happens, you just want to back off as a team until you can gather and fight as 5.
And Queen of Pain also making a bit of a misclick, maybe not getting the level 2 ultimate. Actually made that kill on the Luna a little bit harder here. We are going to see T1 Tower probably go down here. They're zoning out this Radiant team. They can't get close, they can't defend it. And still with no mech up on the Nyx Assassin, it's so hard to engage. Darkseer, his mech is back up, and well, there's no way you're fighting into this teamfight composition. With a mech on the Darkseer, this strong teamfight with the Zach.
They might just keep going. They have wall up, they have the Eclipse up, and everyone's at full HP, but looks like they are going somewhere.
Nice tower kill. There was a Darkseer TPing. They're trying to get deny here as Darkseer with a mech up. He's going to actually try and fight this Queen of Pain a bit, but Windrunner as well as Abaddon have shown up. Nyx Assassin is there in the Vendetta, gets the initiation, and they kill him before he can even pop the mech.
It looks like the Radiant is falling pretty far behind the levels, most notably the Nyx Assassin. He had free farm for about 6 or 7 minutes. He got the first blood, but now he's only level 9 compared to that to Pretty Boy Swag. They have a level 11 Timbersaw, level 11 Darkseer, and a level 10 Visage. This was a jungle Darkseer too, who actually had to contest pulls with his own team. So I'm very surprised that his Darkseer is as high leveled as he is, and the Nyx Assassin is as under leveled as he is.
Yeah, Darkseer's got the highest net worth of all the Dire heroes, and we do see Queen of Pain slightly topping him, and this Queen of Pain is just going to be oh so important. When you're safe lane farmer, the Nyx Assassin isn't as sort of leveled and farm as you'd like. You've got to make up for it elsewhere, and that's going to come from the Queen of Pain and to the Weaver to a lesser extent. If Weaver can get up a fast BKB, I don't know if Pretty Boy Swag really have a good answer for a BKB Weaver.
Dire's top tower.
I mean, they do have the damage. They can like kind of disengage from fights, I suppose, with like Surge and Timber Chain, but still, it's going to be very difficult for them to deal with it. But on the plus side, Weaver does not really do that much damage. They don't have that much that much damage on the side of the Radiant, especially not enough to deal with the mech.
Yeah, Pretty Boy Swag, not Pretty Boy Swag, the Queen of Pain on the side of Shadowfiend Eats Cake just got 2 towers in a row, the mid T1, the top T1, and that's a completed 16-minute Orchid.
Under attack.
Coming out from the Dire side, or?
From the mid lane on Radiant. They smoked right under the T1 tower, but they have a Sentry Ward there. I'm not sure if they actually see it. They did not ping it out. Looks like Visage is going to fall.
Visage is in a nice little position here. He's actually sort of hidden in these trees here, but no, Nyx Assassin will find him out with the Impale, and this will be the end of Sheep Sucks. He's going down. Power Shot finishes him off. Nice path. Not going to keep him alive much longer, and they can rotate top, maybe trying to pressure this tower, especially with an Orchid on Queen of Pain. Luna gets caught out here. This is a definite kill here.
They need more people, though.
Yeah.
If she goes in and just gets a clip, she's going to die. Abaddon shield her or not. But looks like they won't press the issue. So that was actually pretty good for Pretty Boy Swag, I think. They only lost their support Visage, and they used a smoke and a 5-hero rotation. So ideally, they'd have someone split pushing bottom at this time, because the fight's probably not going to happen until Visage comes back up. But still, not a bad trade for them.
I think they've done a really good job of just shutting down the Luna, preventing that sort of fast, sort of 16 to 20-minute BKB. Luna just with 900 gold and the Ogre Club.
There's the Orchid.
Oh, mid lane. They want to go on the Timbersaw, but it's great search coming out from Darkseer. Cakes manages to sort of make sure that Orchid can be negated. So unless you're going on Darkseer, if Darkseer's around, he'll try and save that hero you initiate on.
They do have a lot of sentries. I think they can probably invest in a gem pretty soon, considering how much they've been trying to fight, man.
Yeah, with a 5, it's very unlikely you're losing it if you've got the stronger 5 and you've got the mech up. Nyx Assassin does not have his mech? I'm so surprised. Okay, I thought it was flying out. It is flying out now. So Nyx Assassin, it looks like the Radiant team want to mount a defense here. They've got the mech up. They've got a decent team fight here. They're going to try and take this. Ooh, Timbersaw zoning out this Weaver here, and the Radiant team just need to find an opening, and I think that's going to come from a Shackle Shot. They do get on Dark Tower. Is there a follow-up? Look, Sonic Wave the screen. They do so much damage. Timbersaw gets brought down instantly, And Darkseer's silence, great use of that Orchid coming out. They need to try and kill him before he actually can cast a spell here, and they're going to do that with a Scream of Pain. The Visage Familiar is also taking a lot of damage, and Jakiro now, he's on the run. I don't see any out for him. Queen of Pain's just going to chase him down with the Nyx Assassin's help, and as well as the Timbersaw buyback. That was absolutely horrible for Pretty Boy Swag.
That was awful. That was just not a good fight at all. With that Shackle just immediately bursting him down, they did not have enough damage to. They didn't have enough damage after the Timbersaw Zeddy. I guess he's a majority of it. He has Ion Shell, and he's like in their main line doing the majority of the pure damage, especially with no BKBs up on the side of Radiant. But they were just a little bit too far going on the other side of the T1 tower.
Luna is just caught between a rock and a hard place now, running from the Queen of Pain into a pack of trees. Sleazel does not have the Eclipse, and Relic is going to pick up an easy kill. And this is a Queen of Pain who's more than halfway to a BKB now, and BKBs is really most of the answer to this Pretty Boy Swag lineup, and we're seeing Shadowfiend Eats Cake off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, Pretty Boy Swag needs to take fights in better positions. They're like kind of clumped up around the T1 when they fought over here, and they need the other team to clump so they can vacuum into an ice path. But when you fight in a relatively open area, they can swarm all around this and not clump up. And we saw Eclipse only pretty much hit the Abaddon with his ultimate up, so that ultimate was negated. Timbersaw pretty much did nothing because he was just shackled and then immediately died. And with 30 heroes only on your side during a team fight, you can't really do that much. Still no BKB yet up on Luna. I'm very surprised that their triple lane did not fare as well as I thought. It's 20 minutes in, and their one roll doesn't even have her hammer.
Yeah, it's both lanes who had their safe lane farmer not do as well as they should have. Luna was up against a weak dual lane, the Abaddon Weaver, no BKB. Nyx Assassin, he really fell behind a lot as well, but some of that came from his rotation top, where he did actually kill the Luna.
Here's another smoke.
Yeah, I love what they're doing. They're getting this advantage, and they're just going to keep on looking to gank. The last smoke gank worked out well. If they get another kill or two on some key heroes like Timbersaw, like Luna, slow down the BKB again, it's going to be looking very ugly for Pretty Boy Swag.
Yeah, and they really just need to be more careful if they want to take 5-on-5 engagements like this mid tower, which is currently sitting at 350 HP, or they just need to get BKB up on Luna. I think either of those things, better positioning or more items, can lead them to win team fights, but they also have to be constantly like kind of together. They can't split push because of the Nyx Assassin. You can't carry a gem if you're alone, and none of their heroes can withstand the burst from her right now.
Oh, great surge coming out just in time. Saved the Visage from the Impale, which would have been a certain death. And the Radiant team, they've got this big advantage also because of this high ground ward. This ward on the cliff here gives them so much vision and information about what the Dire side are doing that it's really hard for the Dire side to farm safely anywhere. Luna quickly realizes it's no longer safe top, starts backing out, but she could run right into this Queen of Pain, and Queen of Pain with an Orchid will definitely get this kill.
I'm surprised they're not scouting her right now. Oh, there it is.
Should be killed.
Oh, nope. They need the Nyx Assassin over there.
With a Scream Sonic Wave, that was
where was the Sonic Wave? Oh.
I think he was waiting for the Scream to... I think he used the Scream on the neutral, so it was still on cooldown, and by the time he had it, he didn't have, like, the casting animation would have taken too long, but he could have led with the Sonic Wave, then Scream maybe.
I'm very surprised that, I mean, that would have been a big death delay. The longer you can delay the BKB and the Luna, the easier this game will be for Nom. We're looking at the last hits right now. Queen of Pain with a whopping 162, way ahead of the Darkseer at this point, and almost double that of the Timbersaw that she was facing in the mid lane.
If this Queen of Pain's net worth it just suddenly skyrocketed. There was one sort of poor death earlier on, but since then, a couple towers and just starting to snowball out of control from picking up kill after kill in team fights. That is 22-minute BKB Orchid. Relic is playing a hell of a game right now.
Yeah, and what can they really do versus BKB? They don't really have that much physical damage, especially Luna being under farm, not even level 11 yet. They do have like Visage Birds, I guess, and a Medallion, but that is not going to be enough to burst this Queen of Pain down, especially when you have an Abaddon on your team.
Yeah, the physical damage is only the Luna, and that's not there yet. That's not going to come for another 15-20 minutes. This is a very underfarmed, poor Luna. And rotations once again through the jungle here. The Dire side scout this out. They've got an observer vision as well as Sentry, and they're going to see us coming, but Luna still gets caught here. Sonic Wave Scream, this time the Sonic Wave actually being used, and a power shot coming in as well. They killed the Luna. Shackle shot. Oh, Cakes. He's in trouble. He's maybe actually, no, he's not in trouble. They're going to back off. They realize he's just tanky. I think a very smart decision there, actually. They didn't have enough follow-up damage, and the Orchid was on cooldown, which was the big thing. They can't silence the Darkseer. They don't want to commit to it.
Radiant's
that's all you need. She was actually still
sitting
sitting as she treads. Very squishy heroes still. I'm not sure whether she was just out of position. I mean, she was sitting at her T2 or her supports were just not in the right place. But they have to support this Luna better if they want to win this game.
We're going to see Queen of Pain continue to keep on farming. Something that Luna has not had any to do. And most of the time, Luna's farming. The Jakiro is trying to sit behind him, but there's just so little they can do to keep him alive. Maybe a Darkseer with a mech, but Darkseer wants to keep farming for his next time. And if they're all sitting behind Luna, they're just going to start getting out-farmed. So it's really just a bit of a pickle that Pretty Boy Swag are in right now. They want to keep on farming, but at the same time, they need to protect this Luna, and Luna's getting ganked left, right, and center.
Yeah, they just fell a little bit too far behind. They wanted, you could see their game plan. It's like, okay, let's get a mech on our free farming Darkseer in the jungle, and then let's start 5-manning, and then Luna will get her BKB, and then we can win team fights even if the other team gets their items. But yeah, Luna has no BKB, and they've only taken down one tower. The bottom tower push went very, very well, and if they had executed properly, the T1 mid, it would have fallen too, but they haven't been anywhere close to getting that now.
Oh, spotted out. There's pings on top of this. They're smoked up, but they're right on Observer and Sentry, so as long as you are hovered over there, they do get spotted. And that smoke gank doesn't work, and I love the Radiant. They're using these smoke ganks very early on. Often you'll see teams just sort of using them either as sort of desperation moves later on in the game, or they sort of look to use them much later on when they're just looking to close out the game. But Nom or Shadowfiend Eats Cake, they're just using them to try and increase their advantage. They know even if that smoke gank works, they're not going to win the game off it. They're not going to even maybe get a tower from it, but they just want to shut down any of these heroes' farm that they can.
Yeah, and I think that Pretty Boy Swag could use a smoke to their own advantage. They are dire, they have a medallion. I think that they could take down Roshan, although it would be too fast. Most of the time, Nom has not had their eyes on Roshan. They haven't had wards there. They've mostly concentrated on the top part of the map as far as their reserve wards go, and they've just been looking for kills in their lanes, not really checking out Roshan with anything that they have.
Well, bottom tower gets down to deny range, and Pretty Boy Swag will do just that. They're going to deny, but I don't think the Radiant team really care too much about that. They just want to take these towers off the map, get more map control, and they accomplished just that, even with missing out on a little bit of gold. But the big news is for them, they've got their second BKB up. Weaver with the BKB now is going to become a much harder target to kill as well. You can't go on the Weaver, you can't go on the Queen of Pain. You've got an Abaddon shielding his teammates. None of these heroes are very killable.
Yeah.
Even Nyx, he's got Spike Carapace. Winner has Winner Run. All 5 of these heroes are incredibly difficult to kill.
They don't have enough stun lock, and they don't have a sheep right now. So all they pretty much have in terms of comboing is like vacuum into Ice Path into a double gargoyle stun, and that's pretty difficult to execute. And maybe you'll be able to get like 2 or 3 heroes, but still, if they pop BKB, if you don't execute at all, if any one of your stuns is like 0.1 second off, they'll just pop BKB and then completely turn the team fight around.
Even this Windrunner is looking to like pull some support waves. We're going to be starting building towards a pipe, has a Hood of Defiance. It looked like Pretty Boy Swag had the sort of the 5-man, the superior 5-man. They were trying to do it early. They had that really strong 5-man composition, but this Radiant team with a mech, a pipe, and these BKBs, at this point they are going to be so much stronger. Luna be the only answer for Pretty Boy Swag, and that's a Luna who's going to need 3 or 4 big items. You need to see the Butterfly, you need to see that Satanic. Until that point, I don't see Pretty Boy Swag taking any sort of a fight.
They're getting some items. So Dark Falco has his Bloodstone, Cakes on the Darkseer has his Ultimate Orb right now, so he may get a Sheepstick around like the 35-minute mark if things go well, but really I think it's about this Roshan. If they can get the BKB up on the Luna and secure Roshan, they can at least try and threaten or defend pushes. Team Radiant has taken out, what, 3 T1 towers right now, and there's only 4 towers down in this game, and both teams have, like, pretty good split push/push lineups.
Well, Luna for the BKB hasn't fought it just yet. Probably going to do just so. He's heading back to base now after some Weaver harass, and this Weaver, it seems the Radiant team are just happy to sort of split farm and split push. They've got a couple heroes around the bottom lane. They've got one at top in the Abaddon. Abaddon actually catching up in some farm here as well as some levels. And they're just waiting. They're waiting for Pretty Boy Swag to step out of line. Queen of Pain and Nyx Assassin around this secret shop, and if anyone sort of pokes their head around, they're going to jump and just try and seize whatever kills they can get.
They also need a damage item up on Weaver, so they really don't have that much physical damage at all. Windrunner relegated to a support build with her Hood of Defiance, almost a pipe up, and Nyx Assassin going a support build as well with the Blink Mech. So really no physical damage except for Queen of Pain right click. She does around 200 right now with the Orchid and Press, so that's pretty respectable.
Luna, they could have... Pain stopped attacking for a second. I think they had that kill, but
she's on anti-trades again too. It's very, very dangerous.
And Luna not in this fight, but it looks like the Dire Side still want to try and take it. They have got the Darkseer with a Timber Sword, but the BKB's being popped. They're going to bring down Weaver before he even pops his. Only the Queen of Pain got his off, and Queen of Pain trying to bring down Jakiro needs another blink. He's just going to use the blink to escape it. Well, Winner needs to be careful. Great Shackle Shot. Gets 2 heroes. Just used defensively, though. They're not going to follow this up with any sort of damage, as on the backline, Timber Sword actually looking for Nyx Assassin. What was Nyx Assassin up to? I think he was trying to snipe the hero there. He may pay for this with his life. Nyx has a blink and going to use that to get the hell out of there, as Nyx does eventually go down. Abaddon, no. he's popped his ultimate, and as a result, doesn't really have any way out of this one. Timber Chain, not Timbersault's ultimate, the Chakram being used, and they bring down Abaddon as well. So Pretty Boy Swag, despite a 8K gold deficit, they find a fantastic team fight.
Things started going wrong for them when Weaver did not pop his BKB and Queen of Pain did. He certainly had the opportunity to, but they were fighting 5-on-4. Luna was back at base healing. That was a very, very good place for them to fight. Only 2 people got hit by the vacuum. That's pretty much your best case scenario, and they still lost the fight. So this is very, very bad for Team Radiant, and now looks like Radiant will let Roshan fall without any contest. They shot a power shot in there with a runner, but it is going down very, very fast with this medallion.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned a Roshan kill and then maybe a smoke or two or some kills or two, which they got just there with that team fight, and they're back in this game, and that's exactly what they've done. They've found a way back in. They still got to worry about this Queen of Pain just getting ridiculously farmed, but all in all, their heroes have most of their key items. They've got Timbersaw, the Bloodstone, they've got Darkseer, who's got 2.7k gold with an ultimate orb. This will be a very fast hex on him if he wants to go that way, and it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world for Queen of Pain and Weaver to farm, even when they have got a BKB, if they can get Hex and just brought down before they pop the BKB.
And I mean, they can take down this T1 tower right now. Nothing's really stopping them except for the split push on top. The T2 tower was under threat by the Queen of Pain, but as soon as they can gather together, I think that Shadowfiend East Cake is going to have a hell of a difficult time in these upcoming team fights.
I think Weaver really needs that damage item, whether it's saying like an MKB or my personal preference saying like a Desolator. The dire side, though, if they can get a damage item up on the Luna before then, or some even just additional survivability, like well, it looks like he'll go for the Helm or the Dominator, then maybe just back into something like a Butterfly. Then the dire side, they've also got some late game DPS of their own that they don't have to worry about the Weaver as much.
Yeah, and that's the good thing about 5-on-5 heavy AoE stress like Pretty Boy Swag is running. Even if you fall behind the lanes, even if your carry gets a farm, all you need is one good team fight and it can completely change the game around.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see this Queen of Pain going damage, especially after this device. We see some sort of Mushi-style Desolator, MKB, Daedalus Queen of Pain. That's what we're going to have to see coming out from him if this goes late game, and it looks like that's exactly where we're headed. Pushing into the Darkseer wall, as well as a vacuum combined with a Jakiro Ice Path, is always going to be incredibly challenging and not something this Radiant side want to be doing.
Yeah, I think that Weaver needs to really step up on his farm too. He's 31 minutes in. I think he's almost poorer than the Luna right now. And Luna was just like super poor, got a really, really late BKB.
It's looking a lot better all of a sudden for Pretty Boy Swag. They've cut that gold deficit just down to about 3,000. XP-wise, they're almost actually dead even here. So they're looking much, much better than they were about 5 minutes ago. Luna is just farming off Ancients. They're being as efficient as possible. They're getting map control as well. That's the big thing here. If we look at sort of 5-10 minutes ago, the Radiant team had wards all over this dire jungle, up on the big cliff, up further down here on this ramp here. So right now the dire side have almost complete control. This Radiant has snuck in the middle. Nice, unusual, but the side no key ward spots have been ward even around the ramp. Just sort of key points on the map which can prevent being this team stuff that they want to find.
All they need to do is your perspective. People want to try it and for and pretty much like 7 minutes for this all together now. More as we saw the visitor myself. What's this going? Okay, it's going to be. And we'll pick up the 4th and 5th and just do the sheer power. They're letting boys switch when they want. I mean, the book guns right now, as well as the ancient stack, they can't really shut. Let's success and make a move. And we'll regeneration. How about it the year that you want?
I think it'll be insane. I'm getting to the red light. They've all been 3 promotions, which is one.
Radiant's middle tower is on. Radiant's structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Must I repeat myself? I would like to point out that Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Dire's top tower has fallen. I could have predicted this.
This tower is actually more important than the tower. Very, very. I think Roshan, they were take the usually you want to almost like you lose it right with. It's just and with 2 horses on it, it's very it's a drummer back with it. I feel like I think I just whiskey yeah. And those very built. You man of them.
Okay guys, I'm with John here. Looks like we're getting some weird issues in the Dota TV audio client. It's definitely on their end, so we're going to go ahead and give it a little time to see if it's going to resolve itself, and hopefully we'll be able to do so and we can get back to the action, hearing Gods and Merlini much better than we are now. So sorry, bear with us a little bit. This is on the Dota TV end, and we're going to try and resolve it as soon as possible.
We might like this. Yeah, and they have to. They don't have more files. I don't think live long these. Always on and have be more for your buddy 0. When you have I'm sure it wasn't safe for him. The beat is like they don't have more. Now he's done from and
Okay guys, so as you can see, there's some weird issues with the Dota 2 servers. We're going to stick with it, but we're going to give it some time to try and resolve itself, and hopefully it will be better and we can roll on with it later on. But we're going to give it some time and wait it out before we figure out any other course of action to take here. So bear with us a little bit and we'll try and get this fixed soon.
Don't need to use it effectively. So this super gaming plus just had was lag like all day. You can pause just a second.
at work, we made the same 8,000 for. That is 7,000 ahead of any part of the game. We were just barely ahead of the Dark Hand Saw.
We are gonna have an unpause now. Like, are A-okay? We'll have that. It's a group now. They run away from split. Look for an I know two. It's this purple out. The ring is like. There's somebody testing. So you just come up with that on power. It's got some. And it's got this very Queen of Pain and we're even the map. I think they need to think that it's possible. Maybe even smoke Rome, because right now the whole lot was.
They didn't. I haven't seen them make very good. They had it up here maybe like the last 15 minutes, but I haven't seen any action up there. And they have this word on Brum, but it happened maybe back minute out, so you're going 1 minute during on, which is not going to be up there. I will see one ending, right? So it's going to have to abuse it the whole area. And they don't have a chance, so it's not likely to get awarded, but these words kind of necessary to play more passive than I think is actually to do it.
Soundweaver can actually burst down time. Nope, gets the BKB off time lapse and meeting after him. Really have a well, I don't know if the I think the ice path hit. They lived with the hex from long distance, so the ice path hit, but he couldn't get close enough to do the damage they needed. This will be a problem. That's scale towards the late game. How do they actually kill the Weaver when they haven't got the necessary disable? Heck, that's all they've got. They need more damage on Luna so that they can actually kill him during that hex, maybe.
Yeah,
Dyer's middle tower
or they just need better execution so that they can change them. I mean, technically they do have enough. 3.5 with the hex, and then they have what 2 seconds with the ice path, and maybe 2 seconds with the visage burst stuns. Yeah. That's pretty difficult to pull off, but 7 seconds should be enough for them to burst anybody down if executed properly.
I definitely agree. Then we are going to see just continue to try and split their advantage all around the map, and Direside are happy just to keep on farming. Queen of Pain with 3.4k gold, and that's after a side of Vice. This is a very, very rich Queen of Pain. Almost 20k net. The next highest is 13,000 for the Weaver, which is his own teammate. So the Direside is still very far behind as far as their core heroes go in terms of farm, but they're not incredibly far behind as far as the gold grab goes. Only 5,000 gold difference at 37 minutes is not a colossal disadvantage.
Yeah, and Abaddon is actually still very poor too. He only has phase boost and earn. I think it's the same items I saw him with about 15-20 minutes ago, but it is support Abaddon. He could get like a 4-staff or something. Sometimes they get the mech if he's not pushing the role that he was, but he actually does not scale too poorly into the late game. He still has his ultimate, which will block even more damage than before because the other team's doing more damage. They can take off more useful spells like Hex that they have right now. So Abaddon scales decently, I say, as a support.
Yep. All right, you haven't been too happy with the Radiant wards so far. How are these two wards they've got? Near the Ancients.
Oh, there they go, finally.
Yeah. They block the Ancients, which is, I think, a key thing, because Pretty Boy Swagger just trying to farm a lot. And this other one giving vision of the secret shop as well as near this tower.
Yeah, and it's about to be when Roshan spawns too.
Yeah.
So finally they have some good wards out, and maybe they can turn things around for them. I think Pretty Boy Swag is just slightly behind at this point. It's still anyone's game, though. The gold is still pretty close, only 5,000, 38 minutes in, and this next Roshan could potentially decide the game.
I like this blink pickup from Darkseer. Getting this so he can just sort of surprise his opponents and just get that instant vacuum into wall without getting seen as you run in is going to be very, very crucial, especially running in when there's spells like Windrunner Shackle, Impale from the Nyx Assassin that can bring you down before you get in there. But Queen of Pain has found Sleazel. Luna is going to pop the BKB, but a very, very late BKB. He gets brought down. Without the Luna, this fight's going to go south for the Direside. Maybe they get the combo off. They bring down Weaver. Weaver's just getting caught out without a BKB of himself. And well, Kate's now Darkseer on the run, trying to get out of here as the chase is on. Timbersaw is just going to Timber Chain our way. Abaddon is going to get caught out. Now Queen of Pain onto the Jakira, has one, gets a second. Triple kill for the Queen of Pain. Only Timbersaw in his way, the lone Dire hero left standing, and this is a 6,000 gold. This is a Mushi Queen of Pain if I've ever saw one.
Yeah, this Weaver has got to stop dying. Either Abaddon needs to focus more, or he just needs to pop his BKB earlier. Most likely pop BKB earlier, because the past 2 times he's died, he has not popped his BKB in time and has just gotten bursted down. And his BKB is sitting at 9 seconds. The only time we saw him use it was on this 5-man gank on bottom. He can survive 5-on-1 ganks, but not 5-on-5, apparently.
It's tough, man. Timbersaw just going to miss getting that kill on the Nyx Assassin bottom lane. Nyx just going to TP his way out of there. I'm scared. What's his Queen of Pain actually going to pick up? 6.3.
She is super scary. I mean, I think if she gets a Scotty, then she can just survive the thing, survive anything they throw at her, a sheep, or just a vacuum wall combo, anything they can throw, and she can just clean up afterwards. She can also go a Daedalus, which is pretty popular. She can go an Axe Scepter if she thinks she can use her ult twice, possibly in team fights. I mean, I think she can solo kill probably anyone except for the Timbersaw right now, with her amount of items. BKB that, like, I think Luna has one, but she will just die in a sheep with that much burst.
The Direside, they're trying to go into Roshan, but like you mentioned, these wards now actually spot out Roshan. The problem for the Radiant side is the Queen of Pain's really low. Queen of Pain needs to go back and heal.
Oh, that is very bad for them. They're just going to give a free Roshan, even when they won the team fight 4-2 just before. This DD will certainly help on the Luna, but I mean, Luna has had a very, very difficult game. 1-6. Imagine what it would have been if she didn't get the last Roshan. Oh, they see it.
This Queen of Pain up. He's throwing heals, needs to chuck those urns as well. Queen of Pain wants to go for this, not going to go in time, and Sleazel. Luna gets an Aegis, which should not have happened.
That definitely should not happen. Queen of Pain was just being a little bit too greedy, but she has 7,300 gold right now. What are you still farming for?
Being too greedy in many, many ways. Holding on to this gold.
You said Mushi Queen of Pain.
Yeah. This is prime. Mushi's actually fixed his ways. His play at TI3 was much less greedy than his old days, where he would stockpile 7-8k gold. He would do like that.
You mean like 12, 13k?
He'd go farming when he's low HP, and suddenly he'd need to be in a fight, but it's like, I can't come fight. I've got to go base and heal, and it's because he spent the last 3 or 4 minutes farming.
It's not like they didn't have vision, and it's not like he was going to get anything accomplished top. The wave was so far away from the T3 that there's definitely no way he's going to get damage on that. The T2 was already down, so I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to accomplish. He's been playing fantastically in these team fights, but giving up a free Aegis to this underfarm Luna is not what you want at this point. 41 minutes into the game.
still think the Radiant side are ahead. This Aegis is just going to mean they just means they have to kill Luna twice.
If they got an Aegis, there's a Hex on Sleazel.
They go into the Queen of Pain here, but Queen of Pain immediate shield. This is a great counter Hex, and Queen of Pain is going to go with a BKB. Jakiro does not stand a chance. Timbersaw with a BKB of his own is trying to bring down the support. Nyx Assassin, great play, goes on the Darkseid. Killing the Darkseid is going to be a crucial pick off here, and Queen of Pain, Demon Edge to her name is very, very low.
Oh, 25! Oh, the creeps.
The creeps, but there's an instant buyback. Still has MKB, picks up the MKB at base. He's going to come straight back to this fight, and his team have just done the work for him. The Weaver has finally figured out how to pop his BKB, gotten 2 kills, trying to get a third here with the Timbersaw, and Timbersaw suicides. It looks, he commits suicide. He uses that Bloodstone to deny the golden XP from the Radiant side, but it's an absolute disaster for
That was with Aegis.
Yeah.
Like, when they got the Aegis the first time, they did not do this. They did not group up and force the issue, and they were, like, less behind at that point, so I'm actually surprised that they forced it this time when the gold difference is even bigger than before. What they chose to do last time was just try and get Luna up some more farm. She doesn't even have her butterfly complete. She was pretty close to it. She's sitting at 600 gold right now, just missing Talisman of Evasion, like, minus death gold. You could have had it right now if they had chosen to farm instead, so the timing of this death push was not ideal. That was, wow.
That was so unnecessary, and Queen of Pain also gets the Jakiro. Luckily, Dark Falco does have the buyback here, but that was just so wasteful. He just tried to stall the T2 tower push, gets put out by
totally not worth it.
And yeah, he slowed down that tower push by like 2 seconds and paid for it with his life as well as buyback gold. So they don't lose Raxus, but it's because they use that buyback there, I feel.
And he has 3,000 unreliable gold right now. So a lot of these people are just like sitting on piles and piles and piles of gold. I think each team is like very afraid to make mistakes. Maybe this is like the first like bigger event that they played in, but both teams are like playing very, very passively, very carefully, even when they have the advantage. For example, the Radiant had a very early Orchid on the Queen of Pain and a very early level 6 on the Nyx Assassin, and he was really farmed, but they don't really have as many kills as I would expect them to have. And even though Luna has had a pretty bad start, 1-7, I think they could have killed her even more, and she wouldn't even be close to Butterfly right now. So both teams like playing like pretty safe, saving too much gold, 7,000 gold, and you can just spend all your unreliable gold, and you'll still have enough reliable gold for your buyback, and gotta get that efficiency.
Yeah, got to get that value, as Queen of Pain has got plenty of value himself. He's, after a buyback and an MKB purchase, already up to 3k gold. And Weaver doing a great job of farming a big old Ancient stack here. He's now almost got enough for his Manta style, so do that Manta. Actually, I think he's already got his Manta.
I think he should go, Lincoln's. I think Lincoln's is better for him. He'll block a Lucent Beam. I mean, Luna probably has better things to worry about, but what else was, he'll block the Hex, 1 Hex on the Visage. He'll block some spells from, or 1 Hex on the Darkseer, a couple of spells from Visage, but Darkseer can, the Jakiro can't pop it either. I think it's a pretty good pickup. I'm actually surprised he didn't get it instead of the BKB in the first place.
It's really nice, but he's got a lot of survivability, but just the 1 damage arm, so he's maybe just going to keep on farming it. We're at 45 minutes in, but both these two teams have sort of shown that they can keep up with one another as well as just keep on track as far as getting the farm they need to take it late game. It's still a 14,000, 15,000 gold lead going the way of Shadowfiend. Eats cake though. Shackle shot lands. What a play coming out from this winner. Can actually bring him down. There's a 2-hero impale. Darkseid comes in for the backlines. He doesn't have a wall though. He gets silenced. Great Orchid from Queen of Pain. BKB Blink. He kills the Darkseid before there's a wall of replicas. And now they move on to Dark Falco. Dark Falco already used his buyback. There's no follow-up buyback. 3 heroes down. This looks like it's the beginning of the end. Sheep Sucks is going to go down as well. 4 heroes hit the deck. The only hero to survive, the hero who kind of led to that bad fight, the Luna. Luna got shackled and everything goes to hell for Team
They can't even get a T1 45 minutes in. This is not good by any means for Pretty Boy Swag. And sure, Luna will probably get her Butterfly at this point, but Clop has MKB, they have Sheeps, they have so much damage output from their whole entire team, now with the Weaver actually getting some items now, that like 1 farmed hero on the side of Radiant or Dire doesn't really matter right now. Timbersaw still fell very, very easily. Looks like he's going for Ultimate Orb, maybe a Sheep himself. I'm not exactly sure what he's going for. I myself probably would prefer a Shiva's, I guess, at this point. Maybe a Hood, Casual Hood. They have so much magic damage right now, too. I don't know. They just have a lot of damage flying out in general.
I think that's where the Radiant team are winning this late game, is they've just got much better damage output. I mean, the Dire side have maybe the better 5v5 ultimates, but they don't have the damage output to back up that disable of theirs. And they are going to try and defend these racks of theirs, respawning just in time, but Queen of Pain, with an Abaddon shield on, is just going to take the melee rack, blinks out, does have a BKB, and now comes a big engagement.
4-man vacuum!
Oh, the vacuum wall, is it going to be enough? Takes the Darkseid, he's going to pay for this with his life, and Jakiro can't really do a whole lot in the backlines. Meanwhile, Abaddon He's healed himself back up with that borrowed time. Visage is trying to bring down Moshi on the windrunner, but this is the end. Oh, Visage, nice little bit of jukes there. Bit of an awkward power shot coming out completely off center, and now we're going to see Jakiro get brought down by the Weaver, it looks like. Nice I-Fast, not going to keep him alive, and I don't think the Dire side have anything left in the tank here. They're just losing heroes left, right, and center. They lose one at top. It looks like that's Timbersaw going down to a Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain who's got 6k gold once again.
Wow, and I mean, this is just the beginning then. They have 3 heroes down, no heroes down on the side of Radiant, and the Abaddon just healing everybody up. I mean, I haven't really feel like he's like done that much this game. How do you feel about Abaddon? I mean, he's just like kind of there. He absorbs damage, but like I'm just surprised that he seems to be useful, but I can't tell if this is the Queen of Pain just demolishing everybody and he's just like kind of following that.
It's yeah, I agree. It's weird. He's always there, but does he actually do anything? Because Queen of Pain,
I don't see him shielding hexes and stuff like that.
I saw him once at the tier 2 tower push. He got rid of 1 hex. That was the only time I saw it. It's really hard to do because the shield is such close range. Right. I think all in all, he was annoying at top lane, but the Queen of Pain was just the star here. This is a Queen of Pain who won mid lane without help from the Abaddon. Abaddon wasn't keeping Queen of Pain alive in the fights. Queen of Pain was just doing it on her own. What was the early regen pull? Pulled a Tango, pulled a Salve, and with that sort of started just snowballing out of control. Yeah,
Timbersaw, I mean, he's touted as one of the stronger solo mids. A lot of people have hailed him as like the new solo mid, the new best solo mid, but I didn't really see much out of him this game. He got like a fairly early Bloodstone, and he did a lot of damage in like the first team fight that I saw in bottom lane, but after that, he didn't really split push. He like did damage and was also annoying, but he lost his lane and let the Queen of Pain just get like massive, like uncontrollably big.
It did not go well there. The other big problem was as soon as they started 5-manning, it just kind of didn't work out. That was meant to be their strength, that early 5-man. I think they need to wait for the Luna BKB before the 5-man.
I felt like Luna was just like catching up the whole entire game. It's like, okay, well, I don't have my BKB. I'll get it at 30 minutes. And it's like, oh, 30 minutes, I need damage items. And she keeps farming. Then she has her butterfly, but now the game's over.
Anyways, that wraps up our opening game of the MLG North American League, where 8 teams have qualified, fighting over 4 spots at the Full Sail LAN tournament, which is on October 18th, 2 of which will go home with part of $15,000 prize money. We've just finished our opening game after a couple technical difficulties early on our end, guys, but we're great to be here, and we're going to shoot it back to NY John in the studio. How are you doing, John?
Guys, I'm doing great, and that is exactly what I didn't expect out of an opening game after I personally deemed Pretty Boy Swag to be one of the favorites. I mean, a huge effort coming out, like you said, from Relic, especially in that game on that Queen of Pain. I have a note down here at the 11-minute mark. It was when he solo killed that Timbersaw. He was up 70-30 in CS. So just a monster solo effort on that middle lane. And overall, the movement that came out from Shadowfiend Eats Cake was just paramount. I mean, it was so successful early on, getting that Nyx around the map. There were some concerns when they took a break later on towards the 18-minute mark. They started to slow down, if perhaps having heroes that don't scale as well, like a Nyx Assassin and an Abaddon, maybe they would end up falling off as a result of that, but they still were consistent in the farming battle. Queen of Pain got constantly bigger, and Weaver eventually was able to be more impactful, but really it's the story of Relic in that game. He carried that team very well.
Yeah, Relic, I mean, just played an amazing game. I remember watching him mid lane, just thinking I didn't want to look away because it just felt like it was a matter of time until he got that solo kill on that Timbersaw. Right from the get-go, I mean, we saw where the Timbersaw just managed to survive with his magic stick. He was just put under the gun the entire game long, and I think that's going to be a big thing next game. For Dark Falcon mid lane, I imagine that we're going to see Pretty Boy Swag give him a hero that can much better win his lane, not give him that mismatch of something like a Timbersaw versus Queen of Pain.
Yeah, I don't think Timbersaw is just like you can fit him into any sort of line. I think he's good versus particular lineups when they can't get an Orchid that early and they don't have that many disables, or you can just put in the off lane, or versus high HP strength heroes, but not versus Queen of Pain.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point. I just want to mention, that is one of Dark Falco's signature heroes. I mean, he's a player that's been known in the past to play a limited hero pool and just play it very well. Timbersaw's in his rotation right now, so he got bested. Definitely knows that matchup. It can't be too uncommon. I think the game for the Timbersaw in that lane, of course, is survive and then thrive, but when the other team is moving as well as they are with the Nyx Assassin and Queen of Pain, he shows up to the fight and it's just too late. I mean, he cannot really be impactful. So I like what you guys are saying about maybe switching up his hero, getting him a better matchup in the middle lane that he can actually try and best his opponent with. But overall, I think Pretty Boy Swag have to go back to the chalkboard really because their tri-lane didn't do too well. Their off lanes didn't win, and it just put them behind early on, and they had to rely on that team fight way too heavily to come back in a consistent fashion. So we'll see what they can do moving into game 2.
Yeah, and the other thing, what did you think of the Abaddon pick, John? It was one of the first few times we've seen it in competitive Dota. Do you think this is actually like a viable pick that we'll see more often now?
I think he certainly has some utility. I'm not sure I know exactly where it will be right now. In this game, he wasn't very impactful in my opinion. I mean, he was there in early game. Of course, the shields and heals are tremendous. He has low cooldowns all across the board. Being able to prevent some of those disables as well or get people out of those disables is really useful. But I mean, he falls off very quickly because, of course, he has flat rates on all of his abilities. So once you hit that 20-minute mark or so, Abaddon becomes less and less useful progressively later on in the game. I like him against certain matchups like those big AoE stun heroes. If you can get him out of range and he can, for example, use a shield on someone that got hit by an RP, then maybe he has some good utility in those scenarios. But in this game, Abaddon, he was just kind of there. And I'm sure he played pretty well. I mean, I watched him play pretty well. But I think probably could have inserted a variety of different heroes there and still been successful because those other lanes just got off to a great start. And I mean, the movement, like I said, that was amazing for them. If they can continue to move like that, they're going to have a lot of success in this tournament.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the movement. I feel like even though Nyx Assassin didn't play an amazing game, that one TP top where he got the 2 early kills, that ruined that tri-lane because that was the tri-lane which was meant to win with the Luna. So that one TP, that made up for his later misplays, if anything.
Yeah. I think that combined with Dark Falco losing mid, it was just like very bad 8 minutes. They were like trying to claw back for the next 40, and it was just, I don't want to say it was like decided from the first 10 minutes of the game, but the Radiant really had to mess up. And I mean, they did mess up with Weaver dying a lot, with Nyx Assassin not really getting that many ganks off, but it just wasn't enough. They had to like fail so tremendously badly after that advantageous start that it was just too much.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And guys, of course, this is a best of 2 format with the round robin, so we're going to have game 2 coming up shortly. But first, we're going to go ahead and have our commercial break while we set up that game and get the lobby going. So be sure to stick with us. We just watched Shadowfiend's Eat Cake take down one of the favorites in Pretty Boy Swag. We'll see if they can respond in game 2 after this break. See you then.